At this machine shop, a worker reaches toward a live rotating spindle to adjust a part, and in seconds the situation changes in a way he didn't anticipate. Never reach toward a running spindle, especially when wearing loose sleeves or accessories. Inside this metal plant, a massive steel coil is being lifted, and suddenly it slips from its rigging. Never position yourself near or under a suspended coil. When a coil drops, the stored tension inside the metal can release instantly once the straps fail, causing the material to expand outward with surprising force. A wide safety perimeter is essential during any lifting operation involving coiled steel. If rigging fails, the coil can shift or expand quickly, so workers must remain far outside the danger radius at all times. Walking beside a moving forklift, a worker reaches out to steady a wobbling load and instantly realizes the situation is far more unstable than he thought. Never use your hands or body to stabilize a moving load, and never walk in the fall zone beside a forklift. If a load is shifting or unstable, the operator must lower it and secure it using appropriate tools like straps or wraps. Human strength cannot counter the momentum of heavy materials in motion. You are not a load restraint system. Avoid placing your hands on any moving cargo. If a load begins to shift, step back and let the operator lower it safely rather than attempting to correct it manually. A worker climbs to the top of an unsecured ladder, and he quickly discovers why the base should never depend on simple friction alone. Never climb a ladder without securing the bottom or having someone stabilize it. A ladder stays upright mainly because of the friction at its feet. But if the angle is off or the ground is smooth, the sideways force created by your movement acts like a lever. This can easily overcome the grip at the bottom, causing a sudden kick-out, where the ladder slides back and leaves the climber unexpectedly unsupported. Friction alone isn't a reliable safety measure. Always secure the ladder's feet or tie off the top before climbing. In this busy depot, a forklift operator moves too quickly through the aisle and ends up making contact with another machine that was close to the travel lane. Never drive fast in a warehouse or park equipment in active traffic paths. Excessive speed reduces the operator's ability to stop safely, while obstructing a travel lane creates a sudden, unexpected obstacle. Always drive at a slow, controlled pace, ideally walking speed, and treat warehouse aisles the same way you treat roadways. If you wouldn't park a car in the middle of a highway, don't park a forklift in the center of a travel lane. On this steep roadside, a driver forgets a critical step, and his trailer begins rolling downhill. In a moment of urgency, he tries to stop it with his hands, an action that quickly puts him in an unsafe situation. Never uncouple a trailer on an incline without first securing the wheels with heavy-duty chocks. Gravity will take over the moment the kingpin disconnects, and without chocks, the trailer can roll freely. Additionally, attempting to physically stop the movement is extremely unsafe, as a trailer's weight is impossible to control manually. If a trailer begins to roll, step clear immediately and do not attempt to stop it physically. The only reliable method to prevent movement during uncoupling is properly installed wheel chocks, placed before any release mechanism is touched. On this wet, slippery yard, everything appears routine until the forklift operator suddenly brakes hard, causing the machine to tip forward unexpectedly. Never slam the brakes when carrying a load. A forklift's balance works like a lever, and an abrupt stop can cause the weight at the front to shift forward. This motion may lift the rear wheels and destabilize the entire machine, especially on slick surfaces. Always brake smoothly and gradually, allowing the machine's weight to remain stable. Wet or slippery floors require extra stopping distance and slower travel speeds to avoid tipping forward during sudden stops. At this showroom entrance, a security guard closes a large iron sliding gate, and suddenly, the gate travels past its safe limit, causing it to lift off its track. Large sliding gates rely on functional stopper bolts and anti-lift brackets. If these parts are missing, worn, or broken, pushing the gate too far can cause the rollers to disengage from the guide rail. Once the gate is off its track, gravity can cause it to shift or lean unpredictably. A sliding gate is a heavy, suspended object that requires regular maintenance. If the gate feels loose, travels beyond its normal range, or shifts when pushed, tag it out and report it immediately. Inside this maintenance workshop, a worker stands on the bare forks of a moving lift, and his unsafe decision quickly leads to a series of unexpected problems. Never use forklift tines as a work platform or as a place for passengers. Forks provide no grip, no protection, and no stability. If someone loses their balance while the machine is moving, they can fall directly into an area where the equipment cannot stop quickly. Forks are designed for materials, not people. If elevation is needed, use a certified safety cage with guardrails. Additionally, operators must always set the parking brake before leaving the seat. Even during stressful or urgent moments, securing the vehicle prevents unintentional movement that can complicate an already risky situation. On this tight residential excavation site, a dig gets too close to an old retaining wall, and suddenly the ground shifts, causing the concrete structure to fall into the empty excavation zone. Never excavate near a foundation or retaining wall without proper shoring or underpinning. Removing soil from the base of a wall weakens its support, and the weight of the structure can cause it to shift unexpectedly, sending debris into the area below. Structural support is mandatory when digging near existing buildings. Workers must avoid the fall zone at all times because when soil support is removed, a retaining wall can give way with little warning. Inside this distribution center, a forklift operator drives with the mast raised far too high, turning a stable machine into a top-heavy structure. One sharp turn is all it takes for the forklift to lose balance. Never travel with the mast extended or the forks raised. Elevating the lift mechanism shifts the center of gravity upward, making the forklift unstable. Even slow turns can create enough sideways force to tip the machine if the weight moves outside its stability triangle. Always drive with the forks just a few inches off the floor. A lowered mast keeps the machine's weight anchored and stable. At a busy sorting facility, a worker is focused on her phone and doesn't notice a truck reversing toward her, while the driver also has no clear view behind the vehicle. The space directly behind a reversing truck is a blind zone for both the operator and nearby workers. Without a spotter, warning system, or direct communication, neither person can reliably see the other. This creates an unsafe situation where movement can occur unexpectedly. Safety in a loading bay is a shared responsibility. Drivers must confirm their path is clear before reversing. Ground workers must stay alert and avoid standing in areas where trucks or equipment may move. To keep learning from these important workplace safety lessons, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. Stay aware, stay safe.